Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening and watching another episode of the Football Betting Podcast with me, Tom Pipkin, my co host, Tom Walker, and we are on a roll, my friend.
Yes, we are. It's crazy, huh? This is the golden era so far this season. These last couple of shows, we've really got it together.
We have landed three bomb proof trebles in a row, four bomb proof trebles in the last 5 weeks. So plenty of profit to be had over the last month or so, which is great for the pod, great for everyone that we've seen following us on social media who's tweeted us as well. Thank you for that. And we're going to go at it again this week because we've got the Premier League, the Championship, and the FA Cup first round to sink our teeth into this week. So, order of the show today, pretty much same as usual. We'll go through the Prem, then through the Champ, then through the FA Cup. Because it's FA Cup special, we'll have plenty of little upsets that we like the look of, trying to pick out those outsiders. I've got to say, it's once we get down into the murky depths of the non-league and the Isthmian leagues and all that, when these teams enter the cup, our knowledge is pretty slim, but we'll go off what we can in terms of stats and what research we can do. But hopefully we can pick out a few gems from the FA Cup this weekend at big odds. Um, First, we should also talk about our sponsors, Quiff, right, Tom?
Yeah, we're delighted to be back with Quiff. We are cooking up a storm in the WhatsApp group with them at the moment. Going to be bringing you guys a really exciting slate of new features in the pod. We're going to bring you guys a nice juicy sign up offer if you've never used their services. So this is just a quick nod to them and a quick acknowledgement that we are dating with Quiff. We're out there. The relationship is official and information to come down the pipe.
Yep, quiff.com, the only place where your bets can be supercharged. So if you put a bet on and it might be 2-1, there's a chance that you could be supercharged on that bet. 3-1, 4-1, 10-1, 60-1. So it's an exciting place to stick your bets on. Applies to singles and accumulators as well. So check that out. But as Tom mentioned, plenty coming down the pipe with Quiff. Let's crack on then, shall we? With the Premier League. We'll go through it, picking out our highlights rather than going through it game by game. I've got to say, as a general comment, and I know you agree, it's a tough weekend for betting.
Yeah.
Across the Prem, across the Champ, the FA Cup, like I say, has a lot of unknowns in it with the teams that are in this round. So we're going to do our best and see what we can come up with. But yeah, we get kicked off with Fulham against Manchester United, and this is a Manchester United side who you think they've hit the bottom. They find a new low, it seems, at the moment, doesn't it? Dumped out of the cup at home in midweek by Newcastle 3-0. They go away to Fulham. Fulham are priced at 3.25. And with the turmoil that Manchester United find themselves in, I'd be going nowhere near them at 2.15, just a touch above evens. It's got to be a play here, something on the Fulham side, right? Either Fulham to win or Fulham on the double chance, which is 1.75. Manchester United are in a mess.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I want to get with Fulham. I'm not so hot on that double chance, to be honest with you. I don't think that's the best price. I'm probably going to go for them on the nose. I think we have to treat United the way that they are, and that is at the moment one of the worst teams in the league, like performance wise, like a bottom five team for sure. And yeah, they have played some tough teams in their last couple. Newcastle, Man City. But what sticks out to me, which gives me hope, is that Sheffield United performance. They are a Diego Dallo screamer away from not getting it, and yeah, for me, I think Fulham can get at them. So I might have a tickle on the nose.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. Bunch of 3 o'clocks. We got Brentford against West Ham and Burnley against Palace are two of the first few. Um, I I kind of looked at this and just went, a lot of coin tosses going off here. But I did take a closer look, and then I think Brentford, the Kings of London, their
Mm,
record against fellow London sides is really good. Their record against West Ham is also very good. They've played West Ham 4 times since they've been promoted back to the Premier League. They've beaten West Ham 4 times. Yeah, and I just think their record against other London sides is so good that Brentford could be a good play at 2.1, even though maybe that's a touch short. Um, yeah, beat Chelsea last week. Just running down their results now against fellow London sides. Drew with Palace, beat Fulham, drew with Spurs. That's all this season. Looking back into last season, at the back end of last season, beat Spurs, beat West Ham, beat Chelsea. So yeah, they have a very very good record against London sides.
mm. I'm going to skip into Everton. Now, this is definitely littered with traps for sure, because I can guarantee, and everyone knows this, that Brighton are going to finish above Everton this season. But we're not talking about longevity. We're just talking about the here and now, and we're talking about this weekend. Brighton have won just one of their last 6 games, which is absolutely incredible. And defensively, they've just absolutely gone to hell um, this season. No clean sheets so far this season for Brighton. It's a massive issue. The only one they've kept, sorry, is in Europe against Ajax. I'm talking league. And Everton, as much as they're picking up, we're having a look at them winning 4 of their last 6. At home, they've been bloody horrid. They've played 5 at home, won 1, lost 4, scored just 4 goals and conceded 5. And on the road is where they've got all their points. They've got two wins and a draw on the road. I think Everton are playing better than Brighton right now. That home record does scare me, but honestly, I think getting the better team, getting the better form team at 3.1 at home, that's got to be worth a look, I think. Maybe a Fulham Everton double as like a little, you know, outside, small stakes, high return double might work.
Mm. Potentially. I'm not huge on Everton. I was just looked at this game and thought, God knows, to be honest, could go either way. What I did think is that Brighton have come back to the world of reality, haven't they, in terms of their
Yeah,
price?
big time.
2.2 for Brighton now. Remember at the start of the season, they were, 1.6s, 1.7s, really, really short. So it's nice to see them back out to where they should be, really.
Yeah.
We've got Man City against Bournemouth. City are 1.1. Big coupon buster if that's a result that's anything but a Man City victory.
Hmm.
And then we've got Sheffield United against Wolves to round off the 3 o'clocks. And quite happy to go with Wolves here at 2.0. Sheffield United still struggling. They're winless in their last 6, all losses. Still without a win in the Premier League, no wins in all competitions across the last 12 consecutive games. And yeah, Wolves just keep plodding on, doing pretty well, don't they? Picking up good results. They've played Man City, Villa, Bournemouth, and Newcastle across their last 4 games. Won 2, drawn 2. Man City, Newcastle, Villa, 3 teams who have started the season very well, really. Not lost against either of them. So yeah, I think Wolves in their current form are a decent pick at 2.0 against the Sheffield United side who are really struggling still. And I think you could probably get a bit of an extension on this. Wolves to win and both teams to score, which is priced at 4.0 because Wolves have had 8 consecutive games, both teams to score as well.
Yeah, Sheffield United have shown that there's potential for them to score goals, right? I think defensively is where they are completely unraveling, but I think they've shown that they can threaten. So yeah, I like that. Wolves, I'm very very hot on. Flipping into Newcastle Arsenal, Tom, big game here. Crazy stat for you. How many times in a row do you think this game has been not both teams to score?
Oh, yeah, I've got the same thing.
Oh, you kid. Go on, take it away.
This is what I was going to
I'll
say.
let you do the big reveal.
So I hope our stats are the same, but I've got 10 consecutive games,
Yes, 10
both teams to
games.
score no.
10 games. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so both teams to score no is a smidge over evens,
Mm,
2.05. So I thought, for the people like yourself, Tom, that like the historics, that was a good route to go down. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and I don't know in terms of result which way you're leaning. I couldn't differentiate from either side winning, and I didn't really want to throw the draw out there.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Result wise, yeah, I think that's probably the main play here, isn't it? For me, 10 consecutive games, both teams have scored no. Let's just go for an 11th. I think
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the absence of anything else.
Mm.
Moving into Sunday, then we've got two games. Forest against Villa is the first one. It's at 2 o'clock. Um, I don't know about you. I'd love to see a Forest victory. Can't see it against this such informed Villa side, but I do think we may be able to get both teams to score. I know you might have an extension on this. It's 1.66 for both teams to score. Um, Villa, whilst they are generally very good, their better form is by far at Villa Park at home. And they have been conceding goals anyway. They've only kept one clean sheet across their last 7 games. So even though they do often score two, three, four, they they do tend to concede at least one goal along the way. And Forest at home with their really good, I say they're really good home record, it's kind of wavering a little bit. More draws than we'd like at the City Ground so far this season, but it's still a place where we are tough to beat. Um, what the result will be, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it'll be both teams to score.
I think I know the result. I'm going hard on Villa
Mm.
this weekend, so I think you can get them to win at a decent 1.85. And you're right, Tom. The extension on the both teams to score is Villa to win and both teams to score, which is 3.5. I know, like you said, Tom, Villa's best form is at Villa Park for sure. And Forest has been a difficult place to go, and some of that kind of last season form is giving them credit for this year as well. But I think Forest have been really poor for quite a few games now, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I'm not impressed massively at the moment. I think Cooper's coming under pressure. The atmosphere is flat. Fans are getting a little bit frustrated. This is a good time to play Forest. You go 1-0 up, and they're not going to turn, but the grumbles are going to start, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Uh,
massively.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm all in on Villa.
yeah, fair. And then finally, Luton against Liverpool. Anything that you'd like to put out here? Because Liverpool are pretty short, as you'd expect. They're 1.22 to get the win at Kenilworth Road.
Yeah, just Liverpool.
We do have a Monday game, which I almost forgot about. Can't lie there. Tottenham against Chelsea is the Monday night kickoff. Spurs are evens. The draw is 3.75 and Chelsea are 3.5. Spurs for you or
Yeah, yeah, Spurs for me. I know that Chelsea are capable of getting results. I know it's a project and they're getting better, and a lot of the metrics make them out to be a little bit better than they are. But my eyes are telling me that Tottenham are in the mood at the moment, and at home they're going to have a great atmosphere behind them, and I don't see why I wouldn't be backing them. I think even money is pretty generous, to be honest.
okay, cool. Right, let's go into the championship then. And we spoke about the Premier League and the fixture list in general, how it's quite tough for betting, and the championship certainly epitomizes that. I think for me this week.
Mm.
We'll start with both teams to score between Millwall and Southampton. The price for that one is 1.66. And you may recall on the pod that we spoke about it. We've not mentioned it for a few weeks now, actually, have we? But Southampton went on a run of about 26 games, I think it was,
Mm.
without keeping a clean sheet. They then kept one, and now they're back to form again. So since their clean sheet that they did keep, they've not kept a clean sheet for the four following games after that. So it's what, one clean sheet now in 31 games, I think the stat
Yeah.
is. So, they're going to concede. Millwall at home, they do not have a manager at time of recording on Thursday. Strong rumours that Nathan Jones is going to be taking the hot seat. Whether he's in for Saturday or not is another question. It'd be a big one if he is, because he's against his former club here, Southampton. But I'm sure the players will be keen to impress any incoming manager, whether he's in the dugout for Saturday or not.
Yep. Moving into Ipswich and their away game at Birmingham. This is an Ipswich team unbeaten away from home, Tom. Five
Mm.
wins and a draw in their 6 matches. Playing against a Birmingham team that obviously, disposed of John Eustace and brought in Wayne Rooney, and it's proved to be very unpopular. And they followed that up with 3 straight defeats. 2-0 against Hull at home is a relatable game in terms of, that being at St Andrews, and obviously Hull being miles off where Ipswich are this season. Ipswich, of course, the kind of media darlings, I think.
Mhm.
Second in the table at the moment, looking really good, winning 11 of 13 home and away is remarkable. So, yeah, an early Ipswich goal here, very similar to what I said with Forest, but maybe a little bit more volatile. If
Yep.
Ipswich can get the first goal, I think they'll canter to quite a simple win, and getting them at 1.9 is actually quite a good price, to be honest.
Yep, I agree with that. There's only one other thing really that I liked in this particular division. You might
Mm.
have more. Hopefully you do. Watford away at Huddersfield, I think might be worth looking at. 2.37 for Watford to get the victory. It's more so on the Huddersfield side for me. They're really in a bad run of form at the moment. They've conceded 4 goals in consecutive matches. That was to Leeds and to Cardiff. They've conceded 4 goals 3 times in the last 5 matches, in fact, because they conceded 4 to Birmingham earlier on in October. So, yeah, they've only won one across their last 8 games, and that was at home to QPR. And we all know what's happened with QPR and how bad they've been this season. So, yeah, they're in a tough spot. And Watford are slowly picking up under Valerian Ismail, aren't they? They've not lost in the last 4 games, winning 2, drawing 2, draws against Millwall and Cardiff, wins against Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday. So I just think Watford are in a much better space than Huddersfield right now, and they could squeak out a fairly routine victory if Huddersfield are playing anywhere near how they have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Rotherham, I'm going to have a look at, Tom. I know, Rotherham are 22nd and QPR are 23rd. And, Rotherham are down there for a reason. Have only won 2 of 13. But I think this is a good opportunity to get with them. At home, they have been decent. They have won 2, drew 2, and lost 2 of their 6 home games. QPR have lost 5 of their 8 on the road. Just got rid of Gareth Ainsworth. It's going to go one or two ways, just because he's uh, so specific with a playing style. Either the players are going to feel like the shackles are off and they're going to go out there and play the football that they want to play and completely batter Rotherham, or they're going to kind of be feeling a little bit lost, and there's going to be a feeling of limbo because they haven't got a new manager in right away, and they've lost so many games, 6 in a row, and no wins in the last 9, and maybe the losing mentality has creeped in, and Rotherham can be decent at home. So 2.62, I think that's a really big price, to be honest with you.
Have you heard of the new QPR manager before?
No, oh, sorry, is that the
Marty Marty Cifuentes, I think he's called.
bloody? I saw his name and I thought I assumed he was the interim.
No, 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 mate. He's the boss.
Bloody,
Um,
I honestly thought he was the interim because I
recruited
just never
from
heard of him. That's pretty
yeah,
bad of me, but
yeah, recruited
yeah.
from Hammarby in the Swedish league. I know nothing about the guy.
Well, Marty, I can't change my mind now. I've heard that you're in. I still think the losing mentality might be there, and yeah, I'm still gonna loosely back Rotherham at 2.62.
Fair. New manager bounce scares the life out of me, so I'm not going anywhere near it. Any more in the champ for you?
No, we'll move into the FA Cup, Tom.
Oh, I love the FA Cup first round
It's
where
good.
the EFL meets the non-league. It's so good.
Yeah,
There's so many teams that are so far down the pyramid, like playing the League One and League Two teams. It's great.
yeah, it
Um,
is.
and that search to find the upset because it's nailed on every single year. There's three or four or five like real upsets here from the non-league sides.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll pick a few out. Um, I don't know how we're gonna start this because there's a bunch of games all over the weekend. Um, shall I start with one that I like the look of?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Go for it.
then you can
I
dive in
think
straight after.
honestly, it might just have to be like a pick a mix.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. We're going to kick things off with a big boy, and I mean a big boy in terms of price, not team stature. 6.0. We're going to go for Ramsgate at home to Woking. So this is Ramsgate of the Isthmian Southeast Division, playing at home to Woking of the National League. Um, Woking aren't having a particularly good season. So I think whenever we're looking for an upset, one of the main things that I look for is the team at home in good form, even if they're from a lower division? And are they playing a team from a higher division that's in particularly bad form and not coming with much confidence here? And Woking have lost 6 of their last 8 league games in the National League. They're not having a good season at all. Whereas Ramsgate at home, a bit of a juggernaut. They've
Mm.
won 6 home games in a row across all competitions. In terms of their league position, they're fifth. They've only played 6 in the league, but they've won 5 of those 6. So they've had a good, strong start to the league. So I'm just kind of going off very little I know about Ramsgate, but they seem to be doing very, very well at home with those 6 consecutive wins. And against the Woking side, who are woefully out of form at the moment, it seems, in the National League, there could be an upset on the cards here at 6.0, 5-1. I thought it was a big price, really. I know there's a couple of divisions gap between these two sides, but
Yeah, but
it's
this is what we're trying to find,
what
right?
it's all about. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, an upset is an upset because a smaller team beats a bigger team. So
yeah.
yeah, this is exciting. This is exactly the kind of thing that I love backing. I have something less exciting, but I think it's a really good price.
Hmm.
Um, MK Dons.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, you're into this one?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
good. So MK Dons, obviously League Two against League One Reading. Reading at home. But MK Dons are who we want, 3.8. Um, they have recently bought Mike Williamson in, and they are playing some lovely stuff. Things have clicked. They've had 2 games under him. They've won 4-1 and 3-2 against Bradford and Swindon, two good teams. And they're playing against a Reading team. I mean, we're not here to laugh at any club situation like Reading's, but they're in absolute dire straits at the moment. They're bottom with 6 points. Obviously, they've at home just been absolutely woeful this season. Tom, you've read it out on the pod numerous times. Their home form is absolutely appalling. And yeah, MK Dons go there full of confidence, priced absolutely perfectly for a lovely little upset of League Two over League One. 3.8.
Yep, I like it very much. Like it. The price is massive for MK Dons, there,
It
isn't
is
it?
big, isn't it? Like
Massive.
really big.
It's massive.
Yeah.
One of those where you always kind of get an idea about what a price might be in your head, and I didn't expect to see MK Dons at nearly 3-1. Flipping heck,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. It's big. It's big, and I'll be having a go.
Another team that I'll be having a go on in a lower division faces a higher division clash. Chester against York. The odds aren't so good for Chester, though, to be fair. 2.37. They are National League North. They're eighth in the National League North. They play York at home. York are 22nd in the National League. So York having a really poor season. Chester generally having a good season. They've won 6 games in a row. The last 4 of those 6 games, they haven't conceded a goal either. So Chester, well working their way up the National League North, could potentially be swapping places with York
We
come the end of the season. It is kind of reflected in the odds. Like I say, Chester priced at 2.37, but you've got, these two teams aren't really that far apart in the pyramid. Completely contrasting form though here.
Oldham. Oldham are next. They're 4.33. Oldham are National League. They are in 10th position. But this is more about the feel good factor at Oldham. So, what do you need for an away upset, Tom? Typically, you need, I think, a bit of a carnival atmosphere, a bit of a big away following, like that kind of thing. And that's what we're seeing at Oldham. Oldham are setting attendance records in the National League, and they're the highest attendances they've had for like 20 plus years. The club is reborn. The fans do an amazing job at Boundary Park, and they're playing against a Newport team that just can't get it going, can they? Really, one win in their last 5 for Newport. Like, I am worried about them, to be honest with you. Like, long term, whether they'll be able to, keep their progression going. They're slipping down into 19th at the moment. Obviously, got some new ownership recently, so they'll be hoping to improve on that. But I think the door is open for Oldham at 4.33. Just one defeat in the last 6. And 2 wins in the last 4. I kind of fancy them to go there and get something at 4.33. I think this stinks of an upset.
Yeah, and that's what we like. We like the stinking of an upset. Um, Another one, which I don't know if it quite stinks of an upset, probably won't go that far, but it could potentially be one. And I feel like we may have been here before with Marine, if I'm
Yes.
right, a couple of seasons ago,
Yeah,
maybe.
they played Tottenham.
Um, yeah, so they obviously must have progressed far into the competition to get to play Tottenham.
Mm.
They've got Harrogate Town at home this weekend. They're priced at 5.0 to get the victory. Um, they're doing all right, especially at home, Marine. They've won 8 of their last 10 home games. So that's a tick in the box. They are lower league, obviously. They're in the Northern Premier League Premier Division, I think it's called.
Prem, 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 prem,
Yeah,
prem.
Prem. Harrogate, obviously, in League Two. So they are a few divisions below Harrogate, but Marine 8 out of the last 10 wins at home, and Harrogate struggling a little bit. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games across all competitions, so they're playing a Harrogate side who aren't in particularly great form right now, and it could be another upset potentially.
I've got another one for you, Tom. That's at 4.5.
God, they're coming out left, right, centre,
They're,
aren't they? I
they're,
love this.
it's sensational. So last time on the pod, I predicted Stevenage to get a win over Derby County
Hmm.
based on Derby's away form. Stevenage delivered for me 3-1, their first win in a while. They were priced at 2.7. I'm backing Crew to beat Derby. So Crew in League Two, going well. And obviously Derby a heavyweight in League One. And I think if this was at the iPro, I'd be back in Derby for sure. But Crew,
Hmm.
5th position in League Two. Derby, just the last few away results. Tom, listen to this: lost to Stevenage, lost to Shrewsbury, drew with Cheltenham. Remember that was Cheltenham's first goal of the season
Cost us a
against
Bomb Proof
them.
Treble.
Yeah. Previously to that, they beat Blackpool. Fair play. Put your hands up. Good win. And then before that, a win over Carlisle. I'm not convinced beating Carlisle is a huge achievement for a club like Derby. And Crew, I just kind of fancy him, Tom. Like, I wish they'd done a bit better against Stockport at home the last time out. But before that, it was 4 wins in five, sorry, for Crew at home. 4.5. If Derby don't fancy it, which is the vibe I'm getting from the fan base and social media away from home, Crew could capitalise because they're going well.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh,
I
sorry.
think,
That one's on the Sunday, I must add.
yeah, Sunday alert.
Hmm.
I don't want this party to end, but I've only got one more. So my final one is Wigan to beat Exeter. This is another Saturday, 3 o'clock. This is an all League One clash. Wigan are priced at 3.10 to get the win. Exeter are just really bad at the moment, aren't they? They've lost 9 of the last 11 games across all competitions. They're currently winless in 8. Obviously, no clean sheets in those 8. And Wigan have had a slight upturn in form recently. They've won 3 of their last 4. That's all in League One. Round Charlton fairly close at the end after going 3-0 down. That finished 3-2 last weekend. But yeah, I think Wigan, having had this little upturn in form where they even beat teams like Oxford, they beat Exeter in the league away from home 2-0. That was on the 21st of October, so not that long ago at all.
Hmm.
So they've been there, done it, and the odds of 3.1 against this woefully out of form Exeter side could be another one at a good price.
I want to finish this segment, Tom, by talking about Cray Valley Paper Mills Football Club.
Oh my God, yes, here we go.
I'm not tipping them to win. They're going to get battered. But
Oh no.
they're away at Charlton. They're 19.0. And I was having a look and doing some research. They're actually playing against Balham in the first round of the London Senior Cup um,
Okay.
tomorrow. So they've got a big cup game. Then they go to Charlton on the Sunday. I'm just wishing them all the best. And what's bigger, the FA Cup or the London Senior Cup?
Well, do you know what annoys me? When teams like Cray Valley,
No. Cray Valley Paper Mills Football Club.
yeah, when teams like that get drawn get drawn away from home, because I really doubt they're going to beat Charlton away from home. If it was, at Cray Valley's home ground, you think there's more of a sniff of an upset
Oh
opportunity,
my
don't you?
God. It's
But
called the Badgers Sports Ground.
come on, Badgers.
It holds 1,000 people.
I love that.
Yeah, this is class. I wish it was here.
Love that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I wish it was there. But I just honestly, number one, I wanted to say Cray Valley Paper Mills Football Club. And number two, wish them all the best in their London Senior Cup game
And against Charlton at the weekend.
and against Charlton at the weekend, because that would be it. The bigger are they the biggest price? They must be.
Yes, I
Yeah,
believe they are. Yeah.
yeah. Well, up the and last time I promise, up the Cray Valley Paper Mills Football Club.
Well, that I think is probably one of my favourite segments we've had on the
Class.
podcast in Rita Memory.
Yeah, class.
That was
I love it.
brilliant.
Cool.
Um,
Well, we will transition into the treble section of the show. So yeah, Tom, as you said, it's a hat trick, 3 in a row. It's 4 in the last 5. It's 20 tips read out, 18 correct. The last 20. So the 2 times we've lost in that time, it's just been by one team. So
mm,
we are cooking nicely. Not gonna lie to you, this weekend's treble was tough to put together. I think it's fair to say.
yes. What's a rung below bomb proof?
Like windproof.
So we may need to reclassify this as a windproof treble.
I think so. I think it's a tough one. It's a shame because I want to keep the run going, and I'm not saying it's not gonna win. I still will be backing it, but it's not as strong as I'd like it to be.
No, no, it's not. So we are going to go for Wolves away at Sheffield United. We're going to go for Ipswich away at Birmingham, and then we're going to throw in Millwall against Southampton to be both teams to score. The treble pays 6.63, so a £10 example stake returns £66.30. And to repeat, that's Wolves to win, Ipswich to win, and Millwall Southampton to be both teams to score.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Please gamble responsibly. Make sure you guys are doing your own research. Obviously, we have done our research on it, but we don't back things blind, and neither should you. So please make sure that you double check. And then fancy football, Tom. I've fallen to 286th. I'm so ready for this to be over.
A long way to go yet.
How are you? How are you doing?
Just average. Got bang on the average. 238th in the league.
Yeah, it's just not good, is it?
It's the same. This segment's the same every week, isn't it? At the moment, how
It
have you
is.
done? Crap. How have I done? Crap.
Yeah. And I made changes and everything. Like,
Yeah.
proper really tried this week and still
Yeah.
didn't win. But we'll
Yeah.
do the top 10 in reverse order. Tommy Rafferty, Mark Johnson, Pat Ravenhall, Kieran Gentry, Ari Nukara, Charlie Donnelly, Stephen Wheeler, Eddie Beard, Ross McQuarkadale, Rachel Mather, and Mike Civils. Mike Civils? Yeah, Civils. He's top with 706 points with Civ's Superstars.
Yep, absolutely. So well done to Mike. If you want the league code, you can still join the league. You will join at your rightful place. Just message us on social media and we can give that to you. And speaking of social media, Tom, T_FB podcast is a place to join in the fun.
Yeah, we're absolutely cooking. To be honest with you, we're getting really close to 3,000 followers, which for us is absolutely great. Yeah, lots of good content on there. There's some midweek fixtures coming up in the next little bit, and Twitter is the only place where we post our tips. We got Champions League and a bit of League One, I think, next week. So we'll put something out for those games. So make sure you're following us so you get a little bit extra. And speaking of extra, Tom.
Yeah, FBP Plus. You can get some extra time for the podcast on Patreon with FBP Plus. We just chuck a little few tips on there every week that we don't read out on the pod. So for scorers, anytime goal scorers, shots on target bets, handicap bets, all kinds of different things like that that we don't read out on the pod. That we'll be sticking on there again this weekend. So check that out, FBP Plus at Patreon.
Yeah, it's pretty niche stuff, quite particular things, right? So I think, yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you want to squeeze an extra drop out of the podcast lemon.
Yep. That's it, I think, for this week. So thank you once again to Quiff. Remember to check out quiff.com to supercharge all your sports betting.
Yeah.
We'll have a lot more in the pipeline for Quiff coming up next week. But yeah, good luck, go well, be profitable, and let's see your bet slips if you bang some winners in this weekend. And hopefully the first ever windproof treble will land for a fourth treble success in a row.
Yes. Well, thanks again for listening, guys. Take care. Good luck. Gamble responsibly.
Bye bye.